Talk Radio. Live from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, it's EKB-TV Live with your host, Dr. Bernard Alvarez. Empowering the human experience.
Hello and welcome everybody to EKB-TV Live. I'm Dr. Bernard Alvarez from EKB-TV and the Global Illumination Council, here with my co-host, Dr. Raina, the wonderful Cheyenne spirit woman and former Egyptologist who happens to have a plethora of information to share with us today. Hello, Raina, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Bernard. Hello, everyone.
Hello. I'm so glad we had such smooth sailing. Let me tell everybody this is our first show here on Blog Talk Radio. We are moving from Skype, being that we were there for a few weeks, having too many technical difficulties, and decided it was time to work with something a little bit more user-friendly for us folks in the United States. Anyway, last week we had Raina with us as well, and we were discussing the chemtrail situation. We had lots of positive response, some negative response, and the day after I had posted the podcast for all of our viewers, members, and listeners out there on YouTube, there was something called a Chemtrail Awareness Day, and everybody was posting chemtrail footage that they had recorded themselves. Well, let me tell you, about 40 to 50% of those were pulled that day. Two of mine were pulled. And it's funny how today, or yesterday, NBC News decided to put out a segment on chemtrails, of course, with one meteorologist who believes in them and has been studying them and has been seeing them, and a skeptic with none other than the U.S. military to knock down the claims. Nothing new, huh, Raina?
Nothing new. It seems like I just wonder if that broadcaster, the meteorologist, by saying this, if we're going to hear any more from him about it. You know, the news media is controlled, even though they say we have freedom of press and all that. And be interesting to keep our eyes on him and see what happens. Yeah, absolutely. And also, I hope that by having him on out there again, it'll give those people who do not believe in media, unless it is from mainstream media, to hopefully shake them up a little bit. I did have a few, well, you saw, by the way, everybody, I want to welcome Raina to our family here at the Global Illumination Council. She has been kind enough to help us with some work that we need to have done over at the EKB-TV channel. And she is the one who will be answering your comments on YouTube. And the YouTube address is youtube.com/JustBernard for the Global Illumination Council videos and all the EKB-TV shows. So you leave a comment, it's going to be Raina answering you. And Raina, I'd like to hear a little bit how your experiences have been now that you're getting to know the community out there a little bit more. Well, it's been very interesting answering mail, and that I would say that 90% of the comments that we have gotten back from people is very positive and good. The people are becoming aware. I mean, there's always that 10% or 20% that says it's all a bunch of hooey, but those are the people that refuse to look up and to open their eyes and ears and to see what's going on. So that's not too bad. I can jump into right now if you want me to, I would say give a little background from what I know, and then I have a list of the 10 ranked in order of percentage of the state land owned, that's in acres, by the federal and state governments.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, actually, please do. I mean, I know that probably most of our listeners here today are listening because of the promo and all the views we've been getting. We've been in the top 100 for the last 2 days with that promo. So jump right in and let us know a little bit about what's going on with these underground bases or deep underground military projects.
Okay. As we know it, as of this point, that much of the U.S. is honeycombed with naturally occurring caves and cave systems, sinkhole, abandoned mines, etc., especially out here in the west where I am, the southwest. So it's not all that far-fetched when you think about it. I can present for your perusal if you want to write, Bernard, and to give you the statistics on it if you don't want to write it down now. But there is a map, and there is the U.S. underground bases. Now, these bases, they are called U.S. underground bases. How they're set up, how we know about them. There are eyewitnesses of goings-on. You can also Google it at underground bases, and there are just loads of information that does come up. Several years ago, some artist friends of mine who live out here, who should be nameless, and where they saw this was in our desert. They have a house, and it's high up on a hill, so they get a 365-degree view from up there. They noticed that there were these huge 22-ton load dump trucks coming and going, and they seemed like they were going into the side of a small mountain or hill and coming out again with huge mounds of dirt and dumping it somewhere else. And then there was backhoe, tractors, and other equipment there that were taking some of this and kind of spreading it out to make it look like it was natural ground. There were water trucks out there watering it down, etc. And they watched this for weeks before they had to go out on tour again. And there is something out here known as the Arboretum, the Spaceship Earth. We have two of them. They are huge arboretums where they're doing experiments for people to be housed, sheltered, and survive in these huge dome areas. Well, one of these areas, they found out, has a lot of closed-off corridors there, and there also have been large dump trucks seen in these areas, too. And again, a public is not welcome or allowed to even go near. There are gun guards standing around these places, so you cannot get too near them at all. It's sort of like Area 51. You can only go so far before they give you warnings that you're going to be shot on sight and no apologies taken.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the top, there have been, before I go into the land owned by the state's the governments, there have been pictures taken of huge drilling equipment. This drilling equipment is a huge monster of a machine. It drills 7 miles in one day. Now, that is truly amazing. There are people that live in certain areas that are actually hearing sounds in the ground. There have been vibrations near their houses. There are all sorts of very strange phenomenon going on where there shouldn't be. And this has been being reported now for, oh golly, at least over 10 years, probably more. So the ranked top 10 of the percentage estates, and what I'm going to do, I'm not going to read like if it's 87%, 0.8. I'm not going to go into the other percentage, but it'll just give you some idea. Number 1 is Nevada. Over 85% of the acreage is owned there. Can you believe that?
Wow. Yes, a big place.
Yeah. The second, they have 2 top categories. So there's actually 20 that I'm going to read to you. 2 top categories. 2 are number 1. 1 is Nevada at 87%. The other number 1 is Alaska at 96%.
Oh, boy.
Number two is Utah, 67. Number 2, Nevada, 89%. 3, Alaska again at 67%. Now, this Alaska from what I'm reading here is number 1 is the state acreage, which is federally owned. The second statistic is owned by the federal and state government combined. So when you look at these statistics, it's like, whoa, we don't have a chance. Number 3 is Alaska, 67. 3, Utah, 75%. 4,